Due Process, winner of 25 regional Emmy Awards, including the 2014 New York Emmys for our coverage of criminal justice and current affairs. Due Process is a presentation of Rutgers School of Law, Newark, and the Edward J. Blaustein School of Planning and Public Policy. Studio facilities provided by the Rutgers ITV Studio, Division of Continuing Studies.
$100 million.
$100 million gift from Facebook billionaire Mark Zuckerberg, unveiled on Oprah to political fanfare and the promise of great things to come. Now, 5 years later, an important new book explores just what went wrong, as Newark still copes with crisis in its troubled public schools. The grand gesture that failed on this edition of Due Process.
Major funding for Due Process provided by the Fund for New Jersey, supporting informed citizens for an effective democracy. Additional funding from the New Jersey State Bar Foundation and the PSEG Foundation, making things better in our communities.
It made national headlines when Mark Zuckerberg gifted $100 million to Newark schools. The idea was creation of a national model for transforming American education. I'm Raymond Brown.
And I'm Sandra King. Now, 5 years later, the experiment has largely failed, and Newark's still trying to recover from what started like this.
I've committed to starting the Startup Education Foundation, whose first project will be a $100 million challenge grant.
$100 million.
$100 million.
To me, $100 million sounded like all the money in the world. I had never watched Oprah in my life. But I made sure to watch on September 24th, 2010, to see this 26-year-old billionaire pledge $100 million to the Newark schools, and also to hear Cory Booker and Chris Christie talk about using the money to transform education in Newark.
Creating a bold new paradigm for educational excellence in the country to show the way.
And I was absolutely electrified.
So electrified that Dale Russakoff decided to follow that money, to see the transformative process as it unfolded. The result, a book that's brought national attention to a question Newarkers have been asking for years. What happened to the money? And where is the transformation?
Truth has not been a part of what we've been dealing with for 4 years. We've been dealing with spin, distrust, disenfranchisement.
I thought Cory Booker, Zuckerberg, the governor, would at least come up with something that was in the form of a plan for all the schools, as opposed to just a blatant takeover of the district.
A takeover, it's claimed, in which consultants got rich while the children got cheated, in which public schools were passed over for charters with little or no input from those with most at stake.
When somebody comes to you with a proposal, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
This is the first time all three of you have really come together to talk about this big idea.
Mark Zuckerberg did not know, 26 years old, more money than God, and Oprah Winfrey talking to him in one ear and Cory Booker quoting Mahatma Gandhi in the other ear. He didn't know what else, what to do.
Newark is really just because I believe in these guys.
Take the money, take the money.
Mary Bennett, a retired Newark principal, chairs a board charged with transitioning Newark schools back to local control, more than 20 years after takeover by the state. A return fueled by failure to improve the schools, decades of furious pushback, and another former high school principal elected mayor just last year.